Good morning, guys. It's Pastor Andy. Today is January the 7th, 2020. I'm still getting used to writing that 2020. I've caught myself writing 2019 multiple times over the last few days. But it's January the 7th, and I'm glad that you're here with me this morning as we do our devotions looking into the proverb of the day. The proverb of today is Proverbs chapter number 7. And if you are familiar with Proverbs 7, there's a lot in there about a wicked woman. But if you look at the chapter as a whole, there's a little bit of a comparison that's made. At the very beginning of Proverbs 7, it talks about obeying the advice and the counsel of their father. And he says, "Follow my advice, my son. Always treasure my commandments. Obey my commandments and live. Guard my instruction as you would guard your own eyes." And there's an important lesson there that we do need to guard our eyes, especially as we go down through this chapter and look at it today. We've got to be careful about the things that we look at. Our eye gate is so important, and as men, we're tempted sometimes to look at things we ought not look at. Pornography is an unbelievable industry today that makes more money than all professional sports combined. So it's something that is prevalent. Even in churches, men are struggling with this area. So we've got to guard our eyes. We've got to be careful of the things that we look at. Even David said, "I'll set no wicked thing before my eyes." So we need to be careful at what we're looking at, especially us men. But then it goes through and it says, "Love wisdom like a sister." We should care about wisdom. We should want wisdom. And make insight a beloved member of your family. Here's the thing, verse 5. "Let them protect you from an affair with an immoral woman, from listening to the flattery of a promiscuous woman." And guys, women today are very forward, and they come after men. And we've got to be careful to know that when a woman is flattering us and when she is putting herself out there in a way that she shouldn't, we've got to be aware and know what's actually happening and not be ignorant or not play ignorant or play stupid. Because as men, we're prideful. And we like it when people stroke our ego and make us feel good. But we've got to know that, that lady at the job, at the workplace who is laughing at all our jokes when we're really not that funny, who is talking to us and it's leading somewhere. There's something that she wants, and we've got to be aware of it and use wisdom. Because as you read down through here, you find that this wicked woman, this promiscuous woman, came after this young man. Now, it's not all the woman's fault. This guy was in a place he shouldn't have been. It says, "I saw a young man come into one in particular who lacked common sense. He was crossing the street near the house of an immoral woman, strolling down the path by her house." He was going in a place he shouldn't have been. So guys, we got to be careful and use our brain and not be going places and doing things that we shouldn't do and shouldn't be. So this guy was as much in the wrong as she was. He was putting himself in a position where he could fall. He was putting himself in a position where he was going to be confronted. And because he didn't have wisdom, because he hadn't prepared himself, because he hadn't made the decision in advance that he wasn't going to get involved with a promiscuous woman, he fell. So guys, we're at the beginning of the year. It's time for us to make some decisions that we are going to love wisdom, that we are going to use understanding and discernment, not put ourselves in a place where we can mess up, where we can fall. We've got to make sure that we're guarding our eyes because our purity is of the utmost importance, not just in our relationship with our spouse, but God is looking at that. God wants us to be pure. So we've got to be careful. Not putting ourselves in positions where we can fall, not being around places that we shouldn't be, not just aimlessly scrolling past the TV channels at night when things are on there that shouldn't be, or Googling things or looking things up, or, oh, I accidentally clicked on this and that came up, and we get sucked in and down the rabbit hole. That's making provision for the flesh, making it easy for us to fall. We've got to set up some things and use wisdom, use understanding, so that we do not get sucked down that black hole. So I hope that'll encourage you today, guys. Let's make it a decision. We're not going to set anything wicked in front of our eyes. We're going to stay pure, and we're not going to put ourselves in a position where we can mess up. Let's stay pure, not just for our spouse, but for our God. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow.